back to Emerald and Ivy Studios YouTube page. I'm Caitlin Sheffer and I have a brand new tutorial for you today. I'm trying out a new ring light setup and I'm not sure if it makes my eyes look kind of funny, but thanks for bearing with me while I work out this whole new channel thing. I posted a new trailer to my page and I'm having a lot of fun getting established doing these weekly videos. So I hope you guys are enjoying. If you have any ideas for new content, please send me an email at hello@emeraldandivystudios.com, or you can leave a comment under this video. That would be fine too. I love hearing from you guys and what you like and what you don't like, so keep me posted. Today we are going to do a quick little painting exercise. Something that I really enjoy when I'm trying to relax is I love painting greenery, and I have an entire Skillshare class about painting greenery. I have several videos on YouTube now about painting greenery, so I'm trying not to rehash the same thing over and over again. But the other night I was painting and I have always struggled with fern leaves. For some reason, they don't come naturally to me. I have a hard time painting fern leaves, and the other night I felt like I had a breakthrough. I painted it and I was really happy with how it turned out. So I'm gonna share with you my new method for painting fern leaves. It's quick exercise, it's great for beginners, and it's just a good way to practice your watercolor skills. So let's get started. To get started on our little fern project, I mixed up a nice yellowy green, kind of an olive sap green mixture, and it's just like the perfect color for a fern. I want something a little more on the yellow warm side, not cool. So part of the reason that I've had a lot of frustration when I'm painting fern leaves or foliage that have a similar look to them is that I always start by drawing the center of like the stem and then making the leaves come off like this, which is fine, but I always seem to get a shape that looks not as much like a fern, but more like, for example, let me show you. This is what usually happens when I paint my fern leaves like this, is I kind of get, it just looks more, I tend to give too much of a stem when I'm painting my fern leaves. And I found that if I reverse the process and I start with the leaves and then add in the stem, I got a much more symmetrical leaf, which isn't always important when you're painting in nature, just because symmetry is not a natural thing. But when I'm painting fern leaves, they usually are very, very symmetrical. They're very evenly shaped. And so this is beautiful and it's nice, but it's just not quite the right fern looking leaf that I wanted. So let me show you how I got that to look a little more true to life. Okay? So I'm not going to sketch it out first, but you're welcome to. If you have this is a 2H. Oh no, sorry, this is an HB, but usually I use like a 2H drawing pencil. If you feel more comfortable sketching it out first, that's totally fine. If you watched my video last week about illustrating over top of your paintings with ink, you can also sketch it out with a pen if you want. I prefer to paint first and then sketch on top if I want. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit for you. And let's get started. And I'm gonna start at the bottom of the fern, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and kind of curve upward instead of being straight on. I just like to have a little bit of a curve, okay? So I'm going to push down with my brush, pull, and slowly come up so I create this nice point. Okay? And then I'm going to do the exact same thing right above it. And as I get closer to my imaginary top of my fern, the leaves are going to get smaller and they are going to start to curve towards the center. I think I'll do one more. Okay, so it's really the same. I'm painting the same way. I'm using the same color as I did with this first fern over here, but I feel like if you do the leaves first, it's easier for you to keep the shape and size the same. And already you can tell the difference. This looks more like a spray type of leaf, something that has just similar leaves all spraying off from the stem. To me, this looks very symmetrical, and I can already envision this beautiful fern type leaf where everything's very straight across from each other, similar size. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll show you how I finish it up. And if you are following along, I would love to see your work. You can post it on Facebook or Instagram and just tag me. My handle is at Emerald and Ivy Studios. And every week I'm going to be featuring a follower or a student's work on my Instagram and even on my YouTube channel. I'll be doing that starting in the next few weeks. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to turn my paper so that I can keep it a little easier to keep the right shape. And I'm going to start at the bottom again, pushing down, dragging out, lifting up. Push down, drag, and up. And if you get these little pools, you can just drag them, help it be a little more even. Down, drag, up, down, drag, and up. And I'm making a pair. For each one on this side, I'm doing something in a similar shape and length across, keeping these nice pointed tips. Let's see, okay, here I am. Perfect. Okay. So as you can see, this is why I was so excited the other night, because I went backwards. I was so much happier with the shape than what I usually try. So sometimes it's good to mix it up the way you're painting. See if you can try doing something from reverse and see if that helps you get a better, more real looking finished product. I'm going to mix up just a little bit of a darker green for the stem, not too much. Okay, and then I am just going to slowly drag it up through the center, and I'm going to actually bring it up a little bit into the top one. And then I'm also going to thicken it a little bit at the bottom. I'm just gonna do that by going side by side to where the first line I made was, and then just drag it back in. We get a nice rich center point for our fern. Okay, now depending on your preference, you can let this dry and you can go in with more layers. You can go in and add some veining. If you want, you can go in with a drawing pen and just like last week, you can go in and add some ink to make a more illustrated effect. It's really up to you. But as you can see, I was really pleased with the difference that I was able to get by just working backwards. So if you're feeling frustrated with a project, just try and change things up and you might find more success. I hope that helps. And remember to tag me in your work on social media and I will be sure to share some of your work with everyone else. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.